What's going on, everyone? So today, the Los Angeles Lakers take on the San Antonio Spurs for the second time in like 2 days. And look, San Antonio is atrocious, right? They are the second worst team in the league. They are on an 18-game losing streak. The only team that is currently worse than them is the Detroit Pistons. They are on a 21-game losing streak. They are 2-22, and Spurs are 3-20. And the Lakers are looking to go make them 3-21 and extend that losing streak to 19. A couple things, though, right? One, it is very hard, any team. I don't care if it's the Pistons. I don't care if it's the Spurs. I don't care who it is, right? I don't care if it's the Bobcats that only won like 6 games, 10 years ago or whatever it was, right? Like, I don't care who it is. Playing any team, especially on the road, because they're playing them again in San Antonio. They're not in LA. So last game was in San Antonio. This game is in San Antonio. Playing the same team in a 2-day span on the road. It's hard to win those games. This is still an NBA team. They still have a guy in Victor Wembanyama who just went off for 30 points. They have guys that, hot shooting can happen. Things can happen, right? Anything can happen. It's the NBA. And the Spurs are going to win a game eventually, right? I hope it's not the Lakers today. I really do. I hope it's some other team later on down the road. But you see bad teams beat good teams all the time. Doesn't mean anything, right? Nobody wants to be the team to lose to the Spurs, just like nobody wants to be the team to lose to Detroit. But it's going to happen at some point. My biggest concern, though, is not so much that, hey, we're playing them twice on the road, right? It's more so of we gave them life in the last game, right? Up 18 in the fourth. And San Antonio genuinely had a chance to win that game. Now, Anthony Davis was an absolute monster. He was incredible. And he had the steal that basically sealed the game. If it wasn't for that steal, we might be having a completely different result, completely different outcome. But they still gave a desperate team life and a belief that, hey, we can beat them. Right? To be down 18, it wasn't like it was a close game, right? But in the same breath, I do also feel like a lot of that was just the Lakers taking their foot off the gas, right? You're up 18 in the fourth. You're just trying to just get out of that game unscathed, no injuries, no issues, no nothing, and just walk out with a win, which the Lakers did. But I think that you don't want to develop these bad habits, right? You don't want to put yourself in a position to where now you have to play them again, and they're going to be coming off of that high. They're going to be coming off of the momentum. They're going to be coming off of that feeling of hey, you know what? Anthony Davis put up 37. This team was running through us the entire game. We were just, the Lakers controlled the game start to finish, and we actually had a chance to win it at the end. A couple things go our way at the end, we win that game. And you can make the same argument that, bad teams always find a way to lose. And that very well could happen again today against the Spurs. Spurs could just find a way to lose, even if it is close, even if it is competitive. But I also don't think, if this was a closer game, right? Let's say the Lakers were up 5 going in that fourth quarter. I think the Lakers probably win that game by 15-20. Because I think the energy, the effort, the way, they went away from the things that were working. Anthony Davis kind of took a step back. Everyone just kind of, like I said, took their foot off the gas and was all right, we won this game. Let's just get out of it. Spurs got hot at the end. There was a couple circumstantial stuff that happened for that result. But, I don't think that same result would have happened if it was a tight game. And this time we'll probably have LeBron James, at least at the time of recording this video. There's no word whether he's playing or not, but I imagine that he got his rest. He's going to come back for this one. And I'm sure the Lakers are going to want to beat the Spurs. So the Lakers are going to be hey, we should play LeBron after what just happened in the previous Spurs game. So I'm pretty confident that LeBron plays today. But also, if LeBron played in that last Spurs game, the Lakers probably beat the Spurs by 40, right? Because, you would have had LeBron and his impact and everything. I don't think, just based off of that, like the Lakers kept the problem, like the Lakers controlled that game start to finish. They were up anywhere from like 10 to 18 constantly throughout the game. Like they were constantly in double figures, start to finish almost. So, but they never were able to like pull ahead, right? They were never able to get it into like the 20s or anything like that, right? It was just always like they'd get it to like 17 and then the Spurs would go on a run. And then it's like back to 10. And then like the Lakers would push it to like 18 and then they get it back to like 12. And then they'd push it to 15 and they get it back to 10. And then it was just like every time we tried to like completely just run away with the game, the Spurs, credit the Spurs, they kept trying to stay in it. And also credit the Spurs for towards the end of the game because they could have just laid down in that fourth quarter and they didn't. They easily could have said, you know what, like we got smacked, tough game. We play them again in a couple days. Let's just call it a night and try to bounce back. No, they fought and they clawed and they almost won that game. But I do think if LeBron was in that game, I do think the Lakers would have gotten over that hump, right? I think that they would have extended it into the 20s or 30s. And at that point, it's very likely that Pop might have not have played like Victor and all that stuff towards the end of the game in the fourth quarter. So I do think that there's, again, factors and circumstances that went into this, but still, it's no excuse, right? As I mentioned, you don't want to give a desperate team a lifeline. You don't want to give a team that you are essentially just manhandling and dominating start to finish, and you want to go in for that kill shot. You want to step on the neck and just end it. Put it away and let them know, hey, we play you guys in 2 days and get ready because this is going to happen again. But instead, you make them feel now like, oh, we can beat the Lakers, right? We can beat this team. And we're at home. We're coming off of that momentum. We dominated that fourth quarter. Yes, they dominated us for 3, but guess what? That fourth quarter was almost enough for us to win that game outright, even with us getting dominated start to finish in that previous game, right? I mean, the Lakers gave up 45 points in that fourth quarter. 45 points. Luckily, San Antonio is not very good defensively, and because the Lakers also scored 30, which was their second highest scoring quarter. Because I mean, if San Antonio could have gotten a couple more stops, they win that game, right? Luckily, it was a 3-win team, because if that was pretty much any other team in the league, the Lakers might have lost that game. But look, I trust the Lakers to get the job done. I absolutely do. I trust for them to go out there and win this game, especially if LeBron's back. If LeBron plays today, I'll be a lot more confident in that. But we need other guys to step up too, right? I loved what we saw in that previous game. Guys sharing the basketball. We had 31 assists. I talk about it all the time. Whenever we have 29, 28, 29 plus assists, especially 30 plus assists, we win like every one of those games. And then to have multiple guys in double figures, we had 6 guys in double figures. All starters were in double figures. Christian Wood was only a point away from being in double figures. That's great. But we do need other guys to pick it up a little more, right? And be a little more impactful, because you had Anthony Davis with 27 points, and then our second leading scorer was Taurean Prince with 17. Like, D'Lo had a solid game. He shot 46%, which I thought was great. Like, people were talking about D'Lo being trash in that game. Like, what do you want the guy to do? The guy gave you literally a double-double. He gave you 12 points, 3 rebounds, 10 assists, 6 of 13 from the field. People are like, oh, he had a bunch of turnovers. He had 3 turnovers, which was, tied, right? Between Rui Hachimura and Taurean Prince. He also had 3 steals to make up for those 3 turnovers. So he basically had a 3-for-1 or 3.5-for-1 turnover ratio, which is like incredible, right? Like, even guys like Chris Paul are like 2-for-1. So again, and people are like, oh, he's a -6. Well, Austin Reeves was a -9. So was Reeves worse? Because people were like praising Reeves and trashing D'Lo, and it's not like Reeves had a solid game. Don't get me wrong. Like, Reeves was solid. 15 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, shot 60% from the field, 3 of 6 from 3. But I just, I need to see more from them, especially in these games without LeBron. Again, I'm assuming LeBron plays, but if he doesn't, guys need to pick it up, right? Or if AD doesn't play, guys definitely need to pick it up, which I think we need AD for this game more than we need LeBron. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think the Lakers might be in trouble tonight because they gave the Spurs a lifeline? Do you think, no, they'll be fine. No worries. Again, I have a feel what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear it, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.